How to stop procrastinating using the 2-minute rule. That's from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. So how do you apply the 2-minute rule so that you don't get caught procrastinating? Because procrastination is a killer of time. It can chew up your time. So this video is going to be how you can use the 2-minute rule. Also, I have another practice that you can use to avoid getting caught in the procrastination loop, because it is a loop. And I'll explain why. Because here's the thing. When you go to do something, if the challenge is too high and you feel overwhelmed and you don't want to stick your neck out and you don't want to be criticized, then you will procrastinate. That's one reason why. The other reason why is when something is too easy to do and you feel like, man, why am I doing this? Why do I have to do this? How come I got stuck doing this? This is so easy. I'm bored. I'll do something else. And then you check your social media or check your phone and you do something else and you procrastinate. So the key here is to use the 2-minute rule like James Clear talks about. So the way it works is you just do something very simple. Let's say you're going to write an article. Instead of saying I'm going to write an article, you just write the headline. Or you just write down the focus of the article. Just one line. That's it. That's all you're going to do. Same thing with working out. Instead of saying I'm going to go running for 30 minutes, I'm just going to tie my shoelaces. That's it. You're putting on your shoes, tie your shoelaces. Sounds simple, and it is. But the key here is that you're trying to make something so simple that it's the first step that's going to lead to the next step. So in his book, he talks about somebody named Twyla Tharp. She's a dancer. Her step is to go down out of her Manhattan apartment, get into a taxi, and tell the taxi driver to take her to the gym. That's her first step. It's not eating breakfast. It's not getting her gear on. It's not getting her stuff ready. It's not getting to or being at the gym. It's just getting in the cab and saying, take me to the gym. That's it. So the 2-minute rule is all about just doing something that costs you 2 minutes or less. It's very easy. It's doable. You don't have to overthink it. It doesn't require a lot of energy, time, or thought. And it doesn't allow you to overthink. After a while, you realize, I don't want to do 2 minutes of this. I can do more. If I'm going to the gym and I'm only doing 2 minutes, what's the point? So then you stay for 30 or 40 minutes. Same thing with writing. Instead of sitting down and writing a headline, you're like, well, I might as well write the framework for this. So then you write the framework. Then once you have a framework for an article, then it's easier to start filling in the gaps. Same thing with a book. All I did when I wrote my book, my first book, was to write down the chapter headings. I decided how many chapters I was going to do. I think it was about 12. And then I just decided what were the key things that I could teach or talk about, and I broke it down. I had some help. I was going through a program, and I just broke those chapters down into certain topics that I knew we could talk about, and then I started writing about them. They may have not been in the order that I wanted them in, but eventually they were put in the right order. An editor helped out, and it's all assembled after they do the work. So the key here is just to get in motion. So that's a 2-minute rule, which you can apply to anything in your life. Just keep it simple. Find the simplest thing that you can do, commit to doing that, and then just start with that. The other thing that you can do is to procrastinate on purpose. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. And what you can do is give yourself permission to procrastinate. It's not something I would highly recommend, but if you're somebody who procrastinates regularly and you get distracted and you like to kind of bounce around and do a bunch of different things, you know, like administrative tasks and communicating with people, then what you can do is procrastinate on purpose. Give yourself a block of time, 45 minutes or less during the day, where you're going to be able to just bounce around and be spontaneous. If that's how you are, give yourself permission to do it. Then when you've done it, it's out of your system. You've done 45 minutes, you set a timer, get through the things that you can in those 45 minutes, and then back to being focused, using your calendar. And if you are going to use a system and a calendar, I'm going to give you a link below. It's called the 12-Week Focus Productivity Planner. This system will help you stay focused and on track, always measuring backwards, because you're going to measure against what you've done, not what you haven't done, because that's a gap mentality. You want to stay in gain mentality. So you want to measure backwards against what you've accomplished. today. And if you want to use a great app, it's from Dan Sullivan, who's the co-founder of Strategic Coach. It's called Win Streak. Win Streak, you can use that every single day. Write down on the app 3 wins that you had for the day, and then how many wins, or 3 wins you want to have for tomorrow. Those are your intentions. So when you set your intentions and then measure, you project and reflect, project and reflect, project and reflect every single day. As long as you're projecting and reflecting, you're always going to be in gain mode. You're going to be winning. You're playing to win, not playing not to lose. Playing not to lose is by procrastinating and getting distracted and losing your focus. That's how you play not to lose, because basically you're not going to put yourself at risk, and by staying safe you will not be criticized and you won't be judged, and nobody likes that. So that's why we play not to win instead of playing to win, which is always focusing on the gains, the steps you've taken, even if it's just something small. That's it. You can always measure backwards and always find a silver lining, something that you've done, something that you've accomplished, something you can feel good about. And it might not be a heck of a lot. There are days when I have a tactic that I've said I'm going to do, and it might be writing an offer, and I might have written just a couple of lines or created a framework. Bottom line is, I took some action, I started something. The next day, I can do more, and I can build upon that. Just remember, we're talking about patterns here. Patterns of procrastination, patterns of action. And if you want to be more on the action side of things, then you have to eliminate the procrastination. You have to find ways to push it aside. And the best and easiest way to do that is to start your day by doing the hardest things first. In business, it's selling and marketing. That's what you do first. Spend the first 2 hours of your day selling and marketing, then move on to other things. But when you do that, then you will have done the highest priority thing. It's the heaviest thing in most people's worlds. And then you move on to the easier and lighter things. Early in the day, early in the week. Start early in the day doing what's hardest, and do it early in the week. Why? Willpower runs down, so you want to start early, get started, get it going, move forward, take action, measure your wins, and then set an intention, intend to win again tomorrow with 3 more wins. Just use the app. If you don't want to use the app, use a journal. Bottom line is 3 wins every single day. 3 wins that you achieved and 3 wins that you want to achieve for your future. Then you'll be building your future self, your future identity. And once you start doing that and you start winning and making progress, you'll feel better about yourself. And like I've said before, thoughts moving through our bodies cause us to feel good. That's what feelings are, thoughts moving through our body. So you need the kind of thoughts that are working for you. So can you imagine every single day you're recording your wins, and as you write them down, you're thinking, wow, I accomplished this, I took this action. Because most times people don't realize the little bit of action they took or the things that they accomplished. We are so bad at doing that. We're so good at criticizing ourselves and being hard on ourselves, but we're not really good at measuring against where we've come from, what we've accomplished. You know, if you're in business like I am and you're growing and you're looking for more and more growth, then you need to be looking at your wins and measuring backwards. Otherwise, you're going to get caught up in doing all sorts of things that are not of value. And that's why this 12-week planner, which I'm putting in the description below, can really make a huge difference for you. There's a video in there and it shows you exactly how to use it. You can get an accountability partner and build your system. I mean, I provide uncommon accountability. That's how I coach. So I make sure that my clients are always moving forward. And we use this system that I'm telling you, the 12-week focused productivity system, and we measure backwards every single day. And as long as you keep measuring backwards, you keep your psychology, your mindset focused on where you want to go. And it will take you to better and higher places as long as you keep measuring against where you've come from. You can always connect the dots looking backwards, as Steve Jobs told us. So now, what are we going to do? We're going to create those with intention. Create those dots, those milestones with intention, and then measure backwards every single day. So you can kill procrastination. The system that I'm giving you, it's a procrastination killer. It's a resistance removal machine. It takes the resistance and the heavy lifting out, and it causes you to get things done and move forward. And then you feel good about yourself. But you have to do it incrementally and create a pattern about it. So if you don't have a system or process, you can use the 2-minute rule or procrastinating on purpose. Put those into action. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Like or subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.